There are 7 levels of sneaker brands, from shoes that you grab at the mall's food court to the brands that actually run the culture. Let's break that down and let's see where your favorite brand falls in on the levels. Level 1, we got the basics. At level 1, we have the budget basics. Now the budget basics is going to be them dad vibes, really them granddaddy vibes. All right, this is the sneaker that your granddaddy's mowing the lawn in. He got the socks pulled up to his damn kneecaps, and he might be stroking your granny in these, because he needs the good foot support at the end of the day. And that's brands like your Payless brands, but more particular, your Skechers. Now, Skechers is definitely one of the biggest brands out there, and last time I've checked, has been the top 3 brands in sneakers in the US in the past 3 years. Now, the revenue of Skechers does not play part into these levels as well as other brands as well. It's more so its impact on the culture right now and what a lot of people are actually wearing. And when it comes to Skechers, that demographic is more so older people. They make a lot of breakdown models of other brands that are more popular. However, with their cost, they definitely make up for it for their volume. You also have brands like Fila, who were once big time empires, and they still do their thing, but for the most part, you know, Fila has kind of just been quiet. They might need some good collaborations. They might need some more impact. They might need to get more involved to bring that up. But those are 3 sneakers that will make it for you in the level 1. They're bottom of the barrel, but they are functional and built for people that just need some sneakers. Not more so for statement. Great for mowing the lawn, terrible for fit picks, and nobody's really gonna be flexing in these. But hey, if you wanna rock the Skechers and all that, more power to you at the end of the day. Who am I to tell you what to wear? Now, coming in at level 2, these are your everyday icons. Now, these are the sneakers that, you know, everydayers can get. Anybody. You don't got to be a sneakerhead. You don't got to be a fashion guru. You don't have to be nothing. You could just be a normal person like I am and like you are. These are sneakers that people buy all the time, and that is Converse and Vans. And when we're talking about Converse, we're more so leaning into like your Chuck Taylors, but you might also like yourself a pair of Weapons. And then when it comes to the Vans, there's just an assortment of different models of Vans out there, from your skate highs to your authentics, your reissues, half cabs. There's just a ton of them. For Converse, you got your Chuck Taylors and your lows, your highs, your Weapons and low or high, but Converse is on its way up. They recently just dropped a brand new Shade 001 that I would say if we see more of that coming out of Converse, we definitely can raise them up in a higher level. That particular shoe, solid. I love it. And Shea is only going to get better in time, so hopefully his sneakers do as well. However, these are your everyday icons. Gateway classic, everybody knows about them, and everybody's more than likely owned a pair of these. You might have had them for your first day of school. Maybe you were a skater at one point in a rock band. I don't know, whatever it is. You more than likely have owned a pair of Chucks or a pair of Vans in your lifetime. Otherwise, then you might be one of them Skechers and Payless type of people. I don't know. Or maybe you're just too good. But me personally, I've owned a ton of them. They're timeless and they're not too techy, and they are still very affordable. Coming in at level 3, we have the mid-tier athletics. Now, these are brands that are athletic, but also, I would say, nostalgic as well. So you got your Pumas, your Reeboks, and your Under Armour. Now, Under Armour could have probably went another level up, but I feel like with the branching off of Curry and what Curry's doing with his particular brand, Curry was one of the main people that was kind of making Under Armour be a very prominent streetwear, leaning into streetwear alongside with athletics. But since he has been now doing his own particular branding with Under Armour, and it's only one particular shoe, I feel like we can put Under Armour more so with these athletic brands. And you might be thinking like Puma athletic. Well, you got to realize that Puma is one of the leading brands in, football, as well as Reebok, who can kind of teeter the line with other brands that we'll be mentioning later. But at the same time, I feel like Reebok is still heavily kind of athletic based as well. We get a couple of those old models being brought back to life, like of course your Reebok questions and answers, and then we get tons of your Reebok classics and collaborations like with PlayStation that come out recently. Very phenomenal. Your Pump Omnis. Reebok definitely has the potential to get up higher and higher on these levels, but I definitely think that they just need some more collaborations and more, I guess you could say, footing into the culture overall. Get a little bit more louder. Reebok was definitely doing that a couple years back, but I feel like since then it's been a little bit more quiet. But that doesn't mean that they're not good. They're mid. Mid is not necessarily bad. Mid is mid. But they had their moments, and those moments kind of died down. Under Armour, of course, you had your Tom Brady's, your Rock. They're very respectable. They're very leading when it comes to athletics, but they're more so on the athletic side more than on the fashionable side. they are still worth noting. These brands are all respectable. They're just not necessarily steering the conversation when it comes to streetwear, sneakers, culture. They're not being talked about enough in my humble opinion. But you wear these, you're good to go. You're fine. There's nothing wrong with it. Now, level 4 is your performance risers. Now, this is something that I see happening that I was mentioning about Under Armour, but I feel like Under Armour's lacking. The performance risers right now are your Hokas, your Solomon, and your ONs or your ONs. Believe it or not, these brands are brands that I am fairly getting more familiar with, but they are extremely popular from a streetwear, but outside as well. Like everybody. This is kind of like what Skechers is, but on a higher level, because people that are rocking the Solomons, the people that are rocking the Hokas, the people that are rocking the On Clouds, like these are people that are rocking them, but also people that just rock sneakers as everydayers. They don't even care about the latest and greatest Nike, Jordan, Adidas, any of that. They just like their running shoes and they keep at it. However, they've been slowly bleeding their way into, I would say, your streetwear and your fashion, and people like myself that have definitely put eyes on Solomon and wanted to get them. Now, they're definitely a little bit more expensive, but what's expensive comes better comfort and updated technology. These sneakers all definitely have, I would say, more so lean on their current state rather than what they did. A lot of brands lean on nostalgia, what they did at one point. I would say that these brands in particular are focused on the now, and that's why they are performance risers rather than nostalgic, I guess you could say, sitters or something. I don't know, but they're not relying on that. These snuck through with comfort and won the city over. Trail shoes on concrete, marathon tech with coffee fits. These came from a niche in running, but now are becoming staples in fashion. And I feel like as we get older, you know, we all tend to look past just the hype, just the way something aesthetically looks, but also take in how it feels. And these all feel great. Level 5, the cult favorites. Now, these are pretty much the old granddaddies of level 4. You feel me? These are the sneakers that level 4 are climbing up in, but these are the old versions. You get your New Balance, your Asics, your Saucony. You get what I'm saying? The shoes before, a lot of those are runners. These shoes, a lot of them are runners. However, they play on the nostalgia part of things. You do have a couple of new models coming out from Asics, from Saucony, and from New Balance, but a lot of the old stuff as well plays a big part in the overall popularity and trends that are being set forth. And they all come with big time collaborations. With Saucony, you have J Tips. With New Balance, you have Joe Fresh. This is like a taste tier of quality, storytelling, and community. The 990s, the 2002Rs, the Jill Cayanos, all the Saucony collabs. Saucony's been doing collabs for over a decade now, and they've been killing it. These are all about storytelling, and I feel like these, even as cult favorites, these are the storytellers. These have more storytelling than a lot of the other brands that we even going to be naming on this list moving forward. The storytellers. Level 5 is the cult favorite / storytellers. And the stories that they tell and the people that they collaborate with, that's why they are very, very important to me. They do lean on more nostalgic looks and feel rather than pushing innovation forward. They do have it here and there, but this is a very big storytelling level. And if you like storytelling, if you like themes behind your sneakers that you're wearing, your sneakers that have a certain purpose or a certain meaning, this is the level that you may actually, indulge in. Level 6 is the global powerhouse. Now, this is where the hype gets in, but also the nostalgia, but also the legacy. And that is Jordan Brand and Adidas. Jordan turned basketball into a mythology, and Adidas wrote the collab playbook, in my humble opinion. Two empires, different energies, but the logos alone move product. In today's age, New Balance and Asics, they might be the cooler thing in the circles, but these two brands in particular still swing heavy. You can argue with me in the comments on here, and I'll be there to contest. But of course, when it comes to Jordan Brand, need I say more? I feel like Jordan Brand leads the overall feeling of where the sneaker year is going to be. And what I mean by that is like your SPY and your, you got the stock market, you got your SPY and your your top 500s and all that, and NASDAQ. And when NASDAQ's down or SPY's down, like the whole entire market's down, that's kind of how I look at something like Jordan Brand. If you want Jordan Brand or you want sneakers to succeed, Jordan Brand needs to be doing somewhat good. And this year in particular has probably been one of the best years of releases for Jordan Brand that I've seen in over a decade. And with that said, people are even saying that 2025 has been one of the best years in sneakers for over a decade. A lot of that has to do with Jordan Brand, but it also has to do with the competition that comes along with it. And then you have brands like Adidas who have came out with new models like the Jellyfish, the Bad Bunny collaborations that we have seen, there are multiple of them. And you got stuff like the Addy Star. Adidas has been definitely pushing the envelope with innovation, while Jordan brand has been staying more so on the nostalgic side. You can complain and debate about what is right and what is wrong. In my opinion, I definitely lean more on the Adidas side of things. Even though I am a Jordan head, I do like that the fact that Adidas is trying to create something new over Jordan brand just sticking with what works. And at the same time, it's kind of hard to do that because at the end of the day, when it comes to Jordan and the Jordan brand, the selling points are the 1 through 14s. Yes, we have a Jordan 40 that dropped and it looks good, where Adidas, who is not really bound and tied to a particular person, they can create new product over and over and over and over and be good to go. And we got to think about the past decade. When it comes to innovation, Adidas takes the cake over Jordan. From your Adidas Ultra Boost to all the Yeezys that came out, the NMDs, the Human Race, hell, even Oswego's. Boost in general made a cultural impact. And now they're moving it forward with Pharrell and the Jellyfish. While Jordan brand, as much as I love y'all Jordan brand, you know, we gotten our good releases this year. In particular, we had the Shattered Jordan 1s, the Brick by Brick, which may be the sneaker of the year, the Jordan 1 Bread that only dropped 10,000 pairs that made everybody in the world go crazy, or the Metallic 5s. And we still have Black Cat 4s, Jordan 8 Bugs Bunnies set to release later this year, and Covenant releases like the Jordan 5 Tokyo that we thought we would never have. Pick your poison at the end of the day, but these are the powerhouses. Now, level 7, it can only go into one brand, and that's the Empire. And that's Nike. Nike, yes, I said it. Because at the end of the day, Nike is Jordan brand, you know, or more so Jordan brand is Nike. With no Nike, there's no Jordan brand. And that alone, the fact that you could take Nike and say that number 6, a portion of number 6 comes from this bigger brand, you got to automatically take that into consideration. Now that you've taken that into consideration, now let's just look at all the Nike products itself and the empire that's been built from that. There's sneakers and then there's Nike. Innovation, marketing, myth building, air, visible air, Flyknit, sneakers, the pain that comes from it, the word L, got them, the whole saga, all from Nike. Everybody's competing with Nike, but nobody can replace them. And I would love to hear you guys debate me about this one in the comment section, but I'm just gonna, you know, we gotta call it out. It is. I mentioned how Jordan brand is a part of the NASDAQ and all that, and all the multiple different stocks. Nike is the stock. Nike is the stock. Okay, no, if you take Nike out of just completely remove Nike, you might not even have a sneaker culture as is. Now I know that's not 100% 100% right, but if you took it out, if you took out Nike, you're taking out Jordan brand, you're taking out both of those. Now you just got Adidas. It's gonna look crazy out here. Okay, it's going to look crazy. I don't even know what that looks like. Let's just not even think about that. All right, but yes, Nike. Need I say more? Nike fills the gap from your budget to your high top dog sneakers. You know how we mentioned Skechers earlier and how we mentioned all the Payless brands? Well, Nike got their own version called the Nike Air Monarch, which has been one of the leading sellers from Nike for years. So your granddaddy don't even got to go to level 1. He can come up here to level 7 and get him a pair of the Monarchs and be good to go. Air Max, the whole Air Max line. Nike basketball has created separate lines with LeBron, Kobe, KD. And let's not forget that at one point, they even had Yeezy. And now they move the culture further with collaborations. Travis Scott, Drake had a collaboration at one point. Fragment, Union. And now they're even going in deeper with their cultural impact with what's going on within the streets. And you're talking about your Unions, your A Ma Manières, Fragment. And those are also a part of Jordan brand as well, but there are Nike branded sneakers that they collaborate too. So don't get that twisted. And whatever you mention with Jordan brand, it automatically floats to Nike as well. Because another brand that we can mention with Nike is Jordan. Nike is definitely the top dog and the empire when it comes to the 7 levels of sneaker brands out there. Did I disrespect your favorite brand out there? Please do not hurt me. Please do not dislike me. I'm just giving you guys my opinion, all right? Say what you want to say though, and say what you're thinking down below in the comment section. Drop your own 1 to 7 list. And if I find the best comment out there, I'm gonna pin it. And if you want to see another one of these lists, maybe with streetwear brands, maybe 7 levels of sneakerheads, woohoo! Let me know down below in the comment section. We can make that thing happen, man. Trying something different. Hope y'all enjoyed. I'll see y'all in the next one. I'm out.